Next, I want to talk about the other sensation. First, let's talk about what do we hear? Our auditory stimulus. Actually, sound begins with the movement of an object. So, our audition is some sense of hearing. Right. So, what is the structure of our ear? First, our ear has three parts. Outer ear, our middle ear, and the inner ear. First, we talk about the outer ear. The outer ear has pinna. What is pinna? Pinna is the outer visible structure of the ear, and it's responsible for collect and focus sound, like a phono, and it's just try to help us to localize the sound. And the sound connected by the pinna are channeled through the auditory canal, which is end at the tympanic membrane, or we call eardrum, is a boundary between the outer and the middle ear. And we also have a boundary between middle and inner ear. This boundary is called oval window. And we know that the gap between two membranes is bridged by a series of tiny bones. And the purpose of this bone is transfer sound energy. So when you try to talk to your friends and water, the result is really garbled. So these small bones can make it to travel in the water. And this also result that the fetus can hear outside the sound. And let's talk about the final part, the inner ear. The inner ear contains two sets of fluid-filled cavities. One set of the part is called vestibular system, and the second part is called cochlea. It's like the snail, because the shape is like the snail. The cochlea is really comprehensive. It's really complicated, and the cochlea divided into three parts, three parallel chambers. And from the point furthest is the oval window, and the closest apex. Okay, so let's see. The first, I will introduce the chambers. First chamber is called vestibular chamber, vestibular canal. Second canal is tympanic canal, and they are connected at apex of the cochlea. So the cochlea duct is separated from the tympanic canal by the basilar membrane. it is some thing that will separate them. So this one we call it basilar membrane. And this is vestibular, this is tympanic. And rest on the top of the basilar membrane, we have the organ of Corti. Organ of Corti contain so many hair cells. So in this way, the hair cells can stimulate release some like neurotransmitters, and then onto the auditory nerve. So this is mainly the way we travel. Okay, so let's talk about the auditory perception. Auditory perception, first we can perceive the pitch. Begins with the basilar membrane. Basilar membrane is really wide and flexible. Okay, so second, we can perceive loudness. Human can perceive sounds that vary in intensity by a factor of more than 10 billion, so that is a large number. And the frequency of the sound interact with our perception of its loudness. So its frequency, and also pinna help localize the sound. And our visual system help us to have the ability to localize sounds. Is interference by interactions between vision and audition. Okay, so another thing is that we have the auditory grouping. That just means sounds from one location are grouped together because we assume they have the same source. What about human beings? Human infants, as 2 days, can respond to their native language. And also we know that left hemisphere are larger in musician, and they have a thing called absolute pitch. What else? Social cultural influence has a big impact on auditory perception. So this is our auditory system. Okay, I will make it more clear. This is our topic, and sensation perception is first one, vision second, and auditory system is the third one. So except that we also have a lot of other senses do not mention, like body position, touch, temperature, pain. And what about this? This is called somatal sensation. Somatal sensation, somatal is the meaning of the word body. So the body sense include body position and our touch and the skin temperature and the pain. So in this way, we first talk about body position. For the body position, we return to inner ear. Adjacent to structure responsible for encoding sound, we found the structure called vestibular system, which provide us with more information about body position and movement. So like cochlear, the vestibular system is the vestibular system is right here. Contain sensitive hair cells, just like cochlear. So it can also transmit a message surrounding the fluid when the head moves. And what else? The vestibular system also tightly integrated with visual processing. Okay, let's talk about the second, the touch. The touch representation of touch is the primary sensory cortex, which is really plastic, and this means that its changing response increase and decrease. A changing response increase and decrease input of the body part. So individual with ASD who has some really sensitive feeling towards the touch, so sometimes they will avoid the touch. Okay, so what about the pain? Some pain receptor respond to mechanical damage, such as caused by sharp objects, while others respond to temperature or chemicals. So, remember we mentioned in chapter 2, the neuron part, the myelinated actions are responsible for the sharp edge sensation, and often accompanies with injuries. And also our unmyelinated axons are responsible for dull and arching sensory, so they have divided different tasks. So this is our pain sensation. So how do we process the smell and taste? This smell considered as some olfaction, and taste considered as gustation. So for the olfaction, it has some lot of olfactory nerve and synapse with some olfactory bulbs. This olfactory cortex is connected with thalamus, which in turn with the orbitofrontal cortex. For the gustation, we have the structure called the papilla. Papilla contain 1 to 100 taste buds, and the gustation is connected with medulla. We mentioned last chapter. So for the perception of this, I can conclude into first, we can easily identify a number of complex stimuli combining many types, so we can easily identify. And second, we can detect small difference among similar taste and smells. And third one, our experience of 10 shapes of perception. Of experience often shapes our perception. So this is our experience. So about the other chemical sense, I want to mention first thing is that people are more obvious with some salty taste, and females are more sensitive than males to the taste. And third, religious, medicinal, a lot of things, social, cultural influence on the chemical sense. So it's really shaped by our experience. Also, this point. Okay, so this is our chapter 3